Today I'm going to show you how to antique the metal, which will be one of the final steps in this unit. You will need ink, steel wool, a paintbrush, paper towel. You will also want to have a placemat underneath while you complete this process. And the ink does stain, so I'm going to ask that you wear a paint shirt. The first thing you'll want to do is just lightly buff the metal with the steel wool. This will help the ink to adhere to the surface. I already did this ahead of time, so I'm just going to do it for a moment, but make sure that you do this to the entire surface. And like I said, I'm doing the TV edited speed version since I already did it in advance. I'm going to go ahead and tap off the steel wool debris. You'll see that build up on the surface. Now I'm ready to paint ink. The ink goes a long way, so one dip with your paintbrush will cover most of the metal if you have the square. Of course, you'll need a little bit more if you have the rectangle. And you don't want the ink too thick. If it is, it will flake off. So make sure that you spread the ink out as you work. You also, depending on your choices as an artist, might want the ink to be not quite as even. If you like a little bit more of an irregular look, you can use the paper towel and kind of spread the ink out as you go. I'm going to add a little bit more ink here. And then what we'll be doing next is after the ink dries, you're going to use the steel wool again to buff the surface. And I'll show you that in another video. But what will happen is the ink that is on the relief that is highest will get buffed off. And in the areas of low relief, where the metal is pressed down, the ink will remain. So you're going to create a lot more contrast, and your design is going to show up much better. So for now, this is all I need to do. I'm sure you've noticed that I only applied ink on about half. That's just so I can be a bit speedier for you. But go ahead and make sure that you cover the entire surface. This won't take very long to dry, so you can do this as well as the next step, which you'll see in a moment, all during the same class.